Alright, this first part of the butterfly looks pretty good. We were working on entering not so much with the thumb because you were slipping some water out on the pinky side of that finger. We got to pick up the kick a little bit. Alright, you'll notice on these last few kicks, the feet really get a little lazy. You got to make sure you pick up the foot speed on those final kicks. Tighten up the streamline a little bit, and on that breakout stroke, it needs to be a quick one. Butterfly's coming along, getting the feet up at the surface, looking a whole lot better from here. Hips are nice and high, that looks pretty good. This is an above view of the butterfly. You're really working on finishing the stroke and flicking that wrist so your arms will come over, and that looks really good. Now moving on to this backstroke. We're really working on that model backstroke, as we called it, really working the shoulder rotation, throwing the water down past the hip. Feet looking pretty good, a little deep, just maybe kick them a little faster, try to get the toes to be right at the surface. And while I'm watching this backstroke, we were talking about bringing the hand out of the water thumb first, so the back of the hand is not a whole lot of resistance, and you were really working on it here. It looks really good. Now moving on to the breaststroke. On that underwater pullout, you really want to snap that pullout a lot harder and not lift your head right away. If you notice here when you're swimming, this is the first 25 we did. First thing you're doing is lifting that head and getting your elbows back. Then we talked to you about trying not to pull back so far. Try to give it a little better effort, but you can still see right here at this part of the stroke, your elbows are way far behind your chest. You want to make sure you keep those elbows out front. So the next thing we worked on was a little breaststroke drill I like to do with a buoy and a noodle. With the buoy, it helps keep your butt up at the surface and your feet at the surface. And you want to try not to get your elbows to come past that noodle out front. So this really teaches you how to pull forward and not so much up and down. Because before, there was a little bit of up and down play, which isn't bad, but you want to really be thinking about traveling forward. Then moved on to a little drill of breaststroke with freestyle kick after that, just to try to help us get shooting forward a little bit more instead of up and down. And you can see it here now that we put a little bit of speed with it, a little bit of hand shoot. The elbows are looking better, still a little bit back. You're not going to fix it right away, but it's definitely an improvement. I'd like to see that breakout stroke be a little more aggressive. You can see right there, dropping the hand down just a little bit. Right there when we're taking that breath. And to work on that, we did that drill where we would push off the wall with one hand out front, and then we did the same drill with the hand down. So where you could notice the difference between surfing the hand or dropping the hand. And here already, noticing a big improvement. Got under the wave on the flip turn, that looked pretty solid. Now moving on to some turn work. You notice on these open turns, when we did our first turn, the head was really high out of the water. It wasn't too deep, and we barely got out there in the pullout. So we really worked on staying low in the water, barely getting the chin to break the surface, and staying under, getting out past that wave, and then engaging the pullout. Notice here again, keep the chin on the surface. It's a lot easier to get under that wave. Taking a look at these turns from above the water, I gave the analogy of being at the beach, and if a wave comes and you're on the surface, it'll hit you and knock you back. You go under the wave, Wave doesn't push you around. Same thing when you're swimming. There's going to be a current on the surface of the water. We want to make sure we get under that current and get out past the flags. All in all, good session. Look good. Keep it up, man.